up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about day 2 of the NFL draft for the Detroit Lions. Also, Penei Sewell is a Detroit Lion. Plus, what the heck are the Packers doing with Aaron Rodgers? Let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. And day 1 is in the books. Man, I thought that stream was absolutely awesome. I loved the stream yesterday. I had so much fun. Thank you for everybody that was in the chat yesterday. I thought that was just great. The turnout was amazing. The support was great. And I thought we had a lot of fun with it. It was much different for sure, but we got to hear some different opinions. We got some different voices. I thought the environment was outstanding. And I think you guys could hear the reaction when the Detroit Lions took Penei Sewell. The entire time we were there were chants of Sewell. I mean, everybody wanted Sewell in there. I mean, at least 95% did. And with the fact that he fell to 7 and the Lions took him, it just kind of erupted. It just erupted in there. So, yeah, it's safe to say that most Lions fans were definitely happy about Penei Sewell being the Detroit Lion, at least from what I can tell. So we're going to talk a little bit about Penei Sewell in this video, and then we'll look forward to day 2 and what the heck is going on with Aaron Rodgers. Well, what is happening? The day of the draft, we hear that. Come on, man. So Penei Sewell is drafted at number 7 by the Detroit Lions. Yesterday, I predicted that we would get Rashawn Slater. I kind of talked myself into the fact that they would go tackle, but I did not think Penei Sewell was going to be available. I just didn't see it happening. I don't know if they would have taken Slater if he was there. I'm not sure what they would have done. They may have traded back. They may have went receiver. I don't know, but they landed Penei Sewell. I thought he would be gone. I didn't necessarily think Cincinnati would do it. I had like a weird feeling someone had to take him. The Dolphins, somebody's going to take this guy. And no one did. So when he fell to 7, I mean, the Detroit Lions, that pick was in like that. I mean, it took no time at all. And they said, the pick is in. It's like, okay, yeah, they know, we know what's going on here. And I think after that Jamar Chase rumor, it makes me feel as if now the Detroit Lions are really just trying to push that boy's stock up as much as possible. Like Cincy, he's so good. We promise he's so good. We would trade up for him, but we just can't do it. So since he takes him, I mean, when you look at that reaction, that wasn't just, oh, we made our pick. Good job. Hey, good job, everybody. We got it done. It was like, oh my goodness, he's at number 7. I mean, look at my boy in the back. I think twisted his ankle. He's available. And then after we saw the reaction in the war room, it was like, all right, yeah, they are so hyped. I mean, they were losing their minds over this pick. They did not expect this to be available, clearly, as I didn't expect him to be available. So the Lions took him the consensus number 1 tackle in this class. Now, I did put a video up a couple of days ago that I asked the question, is Penei Sewell worth the number 7 pick in this year's draft? And we did some film on that video. So if you want to check that out, you can. You know, because of course that was before the draft. I didn't know if we were going to get him. I honestly didn't think we were going to get him. So go check that video out if you want to. But here's kind of my thoughts on the Penei Sewell pick, because everybody's asking me, what do I think about Sewell? Here's my thoughts on Sewell, and they're still the same. I think Penei Sewell has the highest upside of any tackle in this class. We saw Adam Schefter report that this is the only surefire Hall of Famer. I don't know about all that, but I know many people have graded him as their top tackle. I'm going to go based on what I've seen, how I feel about it. I'm going to stick to my rankings and guns on this one. And like I said, I do feel like this guy has the highest upside of anybody. And I think that's exactly the way that Dan Campbell kind of worded this. When he said, when you look at a guy that's 20 years old that can move like he can, I mean, there's really no limit for this kind of player. And I think that's exactly what the hype was with Penei Sewell. The fact that the last time we saw this guy play, he was my age. Think about me out there. This dude was 330 pounds, 19 years old, and he was doing what he was doing in college. I mean, that's just nuts. That's the combination he has. The fact that this guy is 330 pounds and he moves like he's 250 pounds is what sets him apart from so many people. Slater is so athletic, right? But Slater's 30 less pounds. I mean, Sewell can move. He plays a lot in space. It was a very screen-heavy offense, which could make the transition slightly difficult. But here's the thing. Offensive lineman, it's difficult to transition to the next level. So to me, this was the type of pick where, hey, you know, obviously we want him to start year 1. I think he'll probably start year 1, and I think he'll go to right tackle. But even the worst case scenario, next season, Terrell Crosby's contract's a big V, has a potential out. I mean, you could be looking at a big need there at tackle, and now you have a guy that you could just fill into that position. And if we're being honest, I mean, the offensive line is pretty much solidified going forward. Pretty much, except for the right guard spot. We got some questions. Is Big V going to be the future? Is it going to be Logan Stenberg? We haven't seen him yet. The left side looks good, though, with Decker, Jonah, Frank. I mean, it's all about, the right side. It was trying to finish it. And that's what exactly the Detroit Lions did. So I don't know if they would tackle Sewell's in there. I'm not sure. I predict this later. I don't know. So I guess I got the position right. So it doesn't change my mock draft prediction yet. Not too much. I can still kind of keep what I have and still roll with it. But yes, the Lions have the consensus #1 tackle. And, like some people are like, man, why was your reaction not more hype? Like, it wasn't super hype because I definitely was thinking it was going to be a tackle with the 7th pick. I really had a feeling about that. And then once I knew Sewell fell and how fast that pick was in, it's like, okay, it's going to be Sewell. It's going to be Sewell. I get like those crazy reactions when I'm surprised. When we took Swift, I had no clue we were taking DeAndre Swift. That surprised me. All right. But here's where the fun really starts. Because day 2, day 3, there's so many players that could be taken, unless you're the Raiders and they just take random players. There's so many players that can be taken. That's when you get the best reactions because you're like, what? I wasn't expecting that. That's why I love today, which starts at 7. We'll be live probably about 6:30. So make sure you guys come back here. We'll be in a different area. We won't be in all the noise and stuff, but we're going to have fun once again reacting to this day 2 of the draft. But no, I mean, that's my thoughts on Penei Sewell. I mean, yes, are there slight concerns? Like every prospect. I mean, here are my main concerns, and I wrote them down. And these are the same concerns I've had with Sewell for a while. First off, okay, the guy didn't play last year, obviously, but there's a lot of players that opted out. I mean, you could point to so many guys. Jamar Chase. You could point to Micah Parsons. There are so many players that didn't play. Heck, even Trey Lance only played 1 game in 2020, right? Secondly, he might be moving the right tackle. I don't think Taylor Decker moved from left tackle to right tackle. I'm sure this is something that they've, discussed, even with Taylor Decker, if this scenario came up. Hey, what are we going to do with this? So I'm sure they have a plan. I would hope they have a plan. But we know that Penei Sewell was working out at right tackle before the draft. Now, he's never played right tackle. He played left tackle in college. He played guard in high school where he was 350 pounds playing guard, slimmed down, and I think that's why he moves so well. So he might be moving to right tackle. He just might be, and that can take time. All right, it's hard enough to transition, and moving spots can take time at the next level. But when you talk about who's in our division and kind of trying to honestly give Goff the best chance, protect Goff, be able to, really put this run game together. But not only that, but, you talk about who's in the division. You look at the Bears, right? Look at the pass rushers they have. Yeah, Mac's not, maybe the same guy, but you still got pass rushers that the Bears have, and they're always bringing in pass rushers. You look at a team like the Packers, they got Za'Darius, Preston Smith. I mean, they got Kenny. I mean, they have guys that get after it. And then the Vikings are just overloading with guys that can get after the quarterback. So, you're kind of just fighting a little bit of fire with fire here. You're trying to kind of just retaliate however you can with this Penei Sewell pick. And I think the upside is what people love. Do I think he's the most polished? I'm going to stick my guns. I don't think so. But I definitely don't think there's another tackle that can be as great as he can be. Just because of the pure size, the speed combination. So I wasn't shocked the fact that it was a tackle, but I am shocked that Penei Sewell fell. What would I grade the pick? Probably an A+. Because I was expecting tackle. The fact that he slipped there, the Lions didn't try to do something crazy. They just said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take who we think's the best available. And that was Sewell. And I think Dan Campbell summed it up. Like, he didn't say, hey, this is the most NFL ready. He said, the sky is the limit. And that's exactly how I look at this pick. Not to say day 1, he's going to be 100% ready to go and he's going to be the best of any tackle. But as years go on, as time goes on, you can mold this guy into something special. Okay, he's coming out of the draft at 20 years old. The second youngest player. Come on, man. Now, yes, that offense did play a very heavy screen offense, so we didn't get to see a lot of true one-on-ones. Like I said, you can go check out my old video on this. He does have some finishing moves. I think he could add a little bit more to that, but he has the strengths to be a finisher. I think he fits well in a zone blocking run scheme, which is great, because of his ability and movement to get upfield. So I think he'll fit that. He just needs to add a little more finishing moves. Right tackle is going to be something that's going to be definitely new to him if he goes to that spot. We know he can also play the guard. I know the arm length comes up, but for him, his athleticism is going to allow him to be able to do a lot of things. So we'll see how the Lions use him. But yeah, I definitely can't be mad at the pick at all. Now you have the tackle position. You kind of have that, okay, boom, we're good there. Now what are we doing? Well, now it's here where you could be looking at more of the skill positions. Of course, defensive line has to come up, but you could be looking at more skill positions now. The Detroit Lions have 3 picks today. They have pick number 41, pick number 72, and pick number 101. So 3 picks today in this draft. And when I take a look at immediately, what players the Lions could target, not necessarily, it's kind of tough to project, round 3, things like that. But we'll do it obviously when we're when we're watching it live. But I definitely think it's deep. And the one position is extremely deep, which was kind of expected because there's just so many good receivers. There's so many receivers that I would be happy with if the Lions drafted. Like, there's so many. I mean, I wouldn't be mad about so many of these guys. So many of them. So that means the Lions could even wait till round 3. They don't have to go receiver round 2. It's extremely deep. The thing trading down today is a very legitimate possibility. Now, we have the 9th pick in the second round of this year's draft. But I think when you talk about the Lions are saying, hey, second round, we want to target receiver. I think you could easily move back. I mean, you're moving back for a team that wants to move up for something that maybe a first-round talent they feel like fell. Easily, you can move back a few spots and still grab a top receiver. I mean, receiver is just ridiculously deep with talent. So I think if you want to say, hey, we want to go receiver round 2, we got a nice trade offer, let's move back and get some more picks, here's the time you can do it. The 7th pick, you could have done it, but clearly they didn't want to miss out on Sewell. So you take the guy. You don't just trade back to trade back. But in this case, I think round 2 could easily be a trade back. Round 3 could also be as well. The fact that you already have 2 third-round picks, it could happen. But I could see a trade back. Now, tight end, I would be shocked the Lions with that route. I know they could add depth. I wouldn't think they'll do it at day 2. Running back, I can't take it off the table completely, but I think the Lions will wait near the end. That's why I'm projecting a 5th-round pick for the Detroit Lions, running back their last pick in the draft. But we'll see if they acquire more picks. That could obviously change. But maybe, I can't count it out because Karen's the last year of his deal. Jamal's only a 2-year deal, but it would shock me if it was this early. It really would. But, Swift shocked me as well. But then I look at a position like quarterback. Again, I don't think they'll do it. I mean, there's Mond, there's Davis Mills if they want to do something like that. Also, guard. I don't want to go offensive lineman back-to-back picks. I love the trenches, don't get me wrong, but offensive lineman, I would not be super happy about that. I think you're deep now at offensive line with Crosby, Vaitai, and Stenberg that all can play guard. I think that's more of, okay, what do we got? Maybe you could go super late there, or it's more of a 2022 pick. To me, it's more of a 2022 pick than, right now. So I would not go guard, and that would be the one spot the Lions could go that would not make me happy. All right, you asked me, first round it was quarterback, now it's guard. You just start running through some names. People are projecting Elijah Moore to fall to Detroit. All right. If we got Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss, I know the size could limit him to the slot role. He plays so physical. He can play through contact. He's special with the ball in his hands. Elijah Moore, there you go, right? That's one of the top receivers. I had him easily ranked in my top 8. I can't exactly where I remember I had him. I think I had him 7 because I had Terrace Marshall, who was also available. Now, medicals came up with him, some concerns there. But I think the fact that he has that big size, that he can play the big slot position, could make the Lions intrigued by that. There's so much talent here. You look at a guy like Rondale Moore, who's still available. Rondale Moore is special with the ball in his hands. He's definitely on the shoulder side, though, so it's going to limit him because it makes him a small catch radius. But when he has the ball in his hands, you're talking about yak. There's not many more guys you'd rather have than Rondale Moore. He just has to stay healthy, and I think that's what's really going to push him down. The size and the health is what's going to push him down the board. Tylan Wallace. Still love me some Tylan Wallace. I think he's one of the most crisp route runners in this class. His ability to just snag the ball in the air is ridiculous. Definitely one of my top receiver prospects right now. Dwayne Eskridge. I think Dwayne Eskridge has boom ability in the NFL. It may have boom or bust. It may be more of a boom or bust pick. This may not be the safest pick, considering the competition, considering the small route tree, considering some of the drops. But when he saw what he did at Senior Bowl, his ability to get separation, how fast, how game-changing he can be, I think Eskridge is someone that, again, if you're looking at upside, Eskridge has a ton of it. Nico Collins, I love me some Nico. You look at St. Brown. You look at De'Ami Brown. And there's just so many guys. I could literally pull up a list. Anthony Schwartz, Tutu Atwell, who I would look for more 3rd, 4th round. But there are so many receivers out there right now, and I didn't go through all of them. That would be perfectly fine with selecting. If you guys want to see my big board for that, I did put a big board out on receivers, a top 40, and most of those guys are still available. So that's how I rank them if you want to know. But, man, there's a lot of guys. Fayoko's here, Tamari and Terry. I think maybe those are more day 3 picks. But regardless, receivers deep. So I think, for me personally, I know some people really want a receiver, and I get it. I really do. But I'm very fine, waiting. Even to round 3. I predicted the Lions to wait till round 3 to take their first receiver. I just think it's so deep, and there's so many guys I would be super fine with. I'm predicting St. Brown in the round 3. So we'll see if that happens or not. I just want to get one right. Just give me one. You look then at the linebacker position, and linebacker, of course, Owusu Koramoah is the top name there for a lot of people. I think Owusu, the issue with him is just figuring out where we're going to use him defensively. 215 is undersized. It's really small. It's not just small linebackers that are 230. It's 215. That's really small. And the thing is, his game is very molded after his quickness and speed. Not a problem. But if you start adding weight, he's going to probably slow down a little bit. You could. So some players are just built like that. Not saying that makes him a bad player. It's just a little bit more specific. But he can do everything. You can line him as a pass rusher. You can put him at corner. He has the speed that's crazy. He can lay some big hits. I think Owusu Koramoah, it's not maybe a huge surprise that he fell this far because I think the size questions with him and trying to figure out exactly what role we could use him. But for day 2, the value there is probably going to go super early into round 2. I don't think I'm making it far in round 2. I think he'll be the top linebacker off. Then you obviously got Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox's ability to cover. It's kind of not a huge, impact run defender, which is the only thing I don't love. But, obviously he can pass cover. And if you want one of those guys, I think the Lions are going to go to some of those smaller linebackers like the Jalen Reeves-Mabins, like the Alex Angeloni, who has good size. But, not necessarily the 260-pound guys that they were doing with Jamie Collins. Not necessarily a Zaven Collins type size. That was the thing I worried about with Zaven is I really like Zaven if he gets in the right spot. I felt like New England was a great pick for him. Arizona got him to pair him with Isaiah Simmons. I really love Zavins. The size is, though, it's something that not every team is going to necessarily love there. Nick Bolton, you can't help but bring up Nick Bolton. If you want a pure middle linebacker that's just going to play that Mike role, and you want that, you have Jamie play outside. You could put Alex Anzalone outside, or Alex could play inside. He could play, honestly, both. Reese Maven could then be more of an outside role. Nick Bolton could just plug right in as a Mike. I mean, he's not the best pass coverage guy, but he could drop a little bit. He's a big hitter. That's obviously something you got to consider, especially if you felt like a round 3. Surratt, I mean, he struggled last year. There's no doubt he struggled last year. But again, his ability to drop back in coverage, being a former quarterback, really helps him. And he may be looking at more of the upside, especially after struggling last season. But linebackers, inside, outside, there's still some positions there you got to look at. Safety is deep. And the thing is, safety is that Brad Holmes told us he believes this position is one of the deepest, which makes me believe the Lions could easily wait on safety till day 3. So I could easily see that happening. But when you talk about talent that's still there, some of my top guys, Trayvon Merrick's still there. I don't think he'll get very far, but if he fell to 41, the Lions want to go safety. He's the best safety in the draft, in my opinion. He's a plug in and play scheme fit, played a lot of split safety with TCU, great length, which makes him awesome at attacking the football downhill. I just think he brings so much. He can slide into man-to-man coverage. He just brings so much to the table, Merrick does, with his scheme fit. I think he has to be near the top of your list for targets. Andre Cisco. Cisco's not, the most sound right now. He's going to give up plays, depending on, we'll see how far he falls, but people could draft him for the upside of how many plays that he's made in the back end. While it's not consistent, he will give up big plays. The Lions don't have maybe a pure deep safety right now. And Cisco could be that. Richie Grant, Richie Grant's ability, again, to just kind of do everything makes him obviously intriguing. Jamar Johnson, I think he's a scheme fit, playing a split safety defense. He played in a 4-2-5 to be exact, which is where I can see the Lions running next season. So his ability to do that, also slide to deep safety, his ball skills are just awesome. He's always in the right position there. His tackling is just a mess. Javon Holland, he slides down the slot, big safety there. The issue with him is I didn't love him in man coverage, but Ardarius Washington, I think he's a great schematic fit. Same thing, TCU defense. His size could push him down to potentially a round 3 pick, and that'd be awesome. Davine Diablo. I love Diablo. He's a big dude that can move. You don't find that a lot. You don't find guys like that a lot. And of course, Hamza. Hamza seemed kind of slow when he was attacking routes downhill, but he just seemed kind of a tick slow. He didn't give up big plays. He was just kind of a tick slow. So it's more about just making it a little bit more urgent with his play. But again, he's got huge size as well. Cornerback, Asante Samuel's still there. Size going to be a question. Will the Lions take a shot on somebody like that? Look at our corners right now. We don't have those smaller guys unless it's slot. And we have Corneller. So will the Lions do that knowing that he played outside at the college football level? Will they do that? They could. They definitely could, because he can play a lot of man. Elijah Molden. The issue I have with Elijah Molden is the fact that he played pretty much all slot. People are listing him as a safety because they think he might move to safety because of his explosiveness, his heat-seeking missile tackling ability. I love that idea. But we only really saw him play that at the last game of the season. I mean, we didn't see any else at safety. So, in terms of a guy that can slide to slot, if we didn't have the slot, be perfect pick. But I'm not sure if the Lions will do that. But if they did, I'd love it, because I love me some Elijah Molden. Elijah Molden, if you needed a sliding slot, I think he's the best slot corner in this class. Pure slot, I'm going to go with Elijah. Fanwu, is a little bit more of a zone fit. Size and length are intriguing. Tyson Campbell, I think, could fit. He really did struggle, though, against those Bama receivers, so it'll be something the Lions have to consider there for sure. St. Just, he was outstanding at Senior Bowl. Robert Rochelle, not very clean right now, but what you could maybe turn him into is what the Lions could look at there. But I think that might actually be pushing a day 3 pick instead. And then, of course, Ambry Thomas, who I'm projecting, but I'm projecting that round 4. And you can't forget my boy, Rodarius Williams. Oh, if we get Rodarius, I will lose it. Defensive line-wise, Christian Barmore might be the first pick today, so, he probably won't be there. But then behind that, Marvin Wilson. What he was able to do in 2019 in a 4-3 defense was outstanding. And if he's in that defense again, more one-gapping instead of last year, they said 2-gap, 3-4, he could be dominant. He was dominant in that level, and if you put him back in that defense, he's going to be dominant again. I can bank on that. Tommy Togiai out of Ohio State. His pass rushing is exceptional. You talk about a guy that can just collapse the pocket. The issue with Tommy Togiai is he's sub 300. He's not the biggest dude out there. But again, 4-3, that can fit. That can fit inside, outside. Carlos Basham, Boogie Basham. Love me some Boogie Basham as well. There's just a lot of guys out here. You look at outside backer. You have Ojulari. And Ojulari could fall to your spot. You could get a top pass rush. Lions said they were interested in Jalen Phillips and Micah to get after the quarterback. Ojulari does that. That's what he does at Georgia. He's super productive. He's a big part of the defense. He was like the guy on defense. Baron Browning. I know Browning has had all the statistics. He hasn't played a ton, but I think this is something that the Lions would love, his size, speed, and ability to play everything. I'm predicting him to be the Lions' second-round pick. But based on how the board fell, with Ojulari still available, with Osai still available, it may push a guy like Browning down and out of that second pick. But we will see. It's tough to predict what the Lions are going to look for. Some of my top targets would definitely be Elijah Moore if he fell to number 41. You can plug him in at slot, and you got just an absolute game changer that can just play through physical, play through contact. I mean, he's outstanding. But yeah, I mean, I love a lot of these receivers. Terrace Marshall, I think, has to be up there as well because of his size. You know, if the medicals check out. Elijah Molden, you know, I think that explosiveness, his slot and safety ability could be something the Lions are very intrigued by for sure. Safety, really everywhere at safety. I think though they could wait for day 3. There's a lot of guys at safety I like. Honestly, man, I mean, cornerback Tay Gowan. I mean, there's just so many options for the Lions out here. We'll talk about this more during the draft. I'm still gonna leave with my prediction of Baron Browning as the Lions pick for day 2. I'm gonna stick with it, but I think with Ojulari, Joseph still available, it probably could push this price down and push the stock down a little bit, which isn't a bad thing. It's not, especially if you land a date around 3. But that was my prediction, so I can't change away from it. The receiver's so deep that if the Lions went receiver, you know, second round, don't even be shocked. Don't be shocked if the Lions go receiver and linebacker today. You know, there's the 2 spots that make a lot of sense for them. And again, safety. You know, when you have 3 picks, safety has to be considered. Cornerback has to be considered for developmental. And they already showed interest in pass rushers, so that can't be thrown off the table. There's so many things that could be happening here. And now punter, long snapper, and kicker come back into play because they said they wouldn't be first round picks, but they didn't say they wouldn't be day 2 picks. And finally, what in the world is happening in this division? Aaron Rodgers wants to get out? Oh my goodness. So you're telling me that in one offseason, we could go from having it be, you know, Kirk Cousins, Mitchell Trubisky, Stafford Rodgers, to having it be Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Justin Fields, and Andy Dalton, and Kirk Cousins. What is happening? Now, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad because I think it goes from a division, especially without Rodgers, that was like, okay, Packers are going to win, to all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute. This is kind of open. This is kind of open. And we were talking about it in the future, 2022. We don't know how long Rodgers is going to be there. Lions could be very competitive in 2022. Well, heck, if Rodgers goes this year, I mean, it's open. You're wide open already. And you talk about how difficult it is to find a quarterback. You know, the Bears trade up for Fields. I'm not a big Fields guy, so I'm fine with that. Take Fields. Hey, go for it. Situation Packers. If they had Jordan Love, I haven't even seen this guy play. Heck, our backup quarterback beat this guy out last year for the backup position. I mean, I'm just saying, it's crazy how fast it changes Packers. It's simple. Just draft him a receiver. I could literally do this for you. With the 29th pick, and just any receiver, just throw it in. We just Eric Stokes? Okay, well, I hope you talk to him about it, but for real? I mean, he was already mad before the draft, so maybe they're just like, okay, we already know he's gone. So I don't know, but I don't understand how y'all just don't give my man a receiver. I don't even like Rodgers. Just draft him a receiver already. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How do you guys feel about the Penei Sewell pick? Welcome to Detroit, Penei. Wow. I gotta give him a nickname or something. No, that doesn't work. Thank you, Brad, for watching. Who do you guys think the Lions draft today? My predictions for today, Baron Browning second round. I'm gonna stick with my same ones because I feel like I'm cheating. I got Baron Browning, then I have St. Brown, which is a receiver. And then my third prediction was Caden Stearns. It was Caden Stearns, right? I think it was Caden Stearns, safety out of Texas. Trying to make like a little wish list, but it's tough because there's a lot of guys that I really like. And I think there are so many positions and so many routes that could go with this. So I have a couple for each position. Running back, I'll give you one just because why not? I know it's not very likely, but it's got to be Javonte Williams. I could not just not bring up Javonte. I think Javonte. Javonte might turn out to be the best running back in this class, so he would be a game changer. Now, if we're talking safety, which is very more realistic, is somehow Mary could fall to 41. Oh, my goodness. And I would say Jamar Johnson as well, but I like the depth of safety, so I think day 3, if you wait till safety, I'm completely fine with that. I love the depth there. There's so many late round safeties that I like, so many. I mean, I think a great one is Tariq Thompson. Okay, woo. I mean, there's so many late round guys I like there. Wide receiver, very open to this as well. If I had to pick 3, I'd say Nico would be amazing, of course. Dwayne Eskridge. I just like the upside. Talon Wallace would have to be thrown in. And probably Elijah Moore. And Terrace Marshall. Okay, I'm open to a lot of things. I'm sorry. St. Brown as well. Okay, stop. Cornerback, Elijah Molden. Let's see. Rodarius Williams. If we got Rodarius round 3, I would lose it. That's like the one guy. If we get Rodarius Williams, I'm getting a Rodarius jersey. So please draft Rodarius. And then Tay Gowan. I also throw Tay Gowan in there as an interesting one. Maybe late round 3. Quarterback. If I'm going quarterback, I'm taking Kellen Mond. That's my favorite quarterback left. Offensive line. I don't want offensive line again, but Wyatt Davis, the guard, because I think he can plug in and play at right guard. But I wouldn't do that again. But if that's what the Lions wanted to do, linebacker. My 3 would be Baron Browning, Nick Bolton, probably Pete Werner. Those would be 3 that I think would be really, really nice for the Detroit Lions. I would say defensive line, Marvin Wilson is probably very high on that list. And, for pass rushers, Rashad Weaver would be awesome. I think Patrick Jones, if you want speed, would be great as well. Let me see, Boogie Basham, one of those guys. So kind of a weird little wish list, but I'm open to a lot of things. I'm just pumped. So be there. Be at the stream. Come on, man. So we will see. Anyway, that was Guys Blow. Thank you for watching. And I'm out.